surprised at the success of I Like You?
I was. I didn't think of that. I didn't think anybody would buy it. I just forgot that part of it. You know, you have a deadline, you just work towards it, and the next thing you know, it arrives in the mail in book form. You're like, oh yeah, that's right. And then next thing you know, you see it in the store, and you have to travel all over and try to push it. So I mean, I was really surprised.
Yeah, we saw it in the store, and you also saw it on the New York Times bestseller list.
I did. Yeah, shocking.
Yeah. So when you were going to do that, a book about hospitality, did you know I'm going to do a second book?
No.
How did this one come about?
Well, when I was working on I Like You, I thought I'll never do another book again. That was stupid. I'm never going to do it again. And then I just got carried away with the craft section in the back of I Like You, and the book was running long, so I just cut all the instructions out, and I just thought, well, you know, again, deaf people can just look at it, and I mean, literate people can look at the pictures and just guess. So then I just wanted more craft. So in the back of my head, I thought, well, maybe if I could, maybe 5 years later do something, then I thought it would be a craft book. So I was surprised I kind of did it, actually, but I'm glad I did it.
So were we. I didn't think you could top I Like You, but you did. This thing is hilarious. There's so much going, I mean, very much like I Like You, there's so much going on. And as you said, an illiterate could just completely read this book.
Yeah, it's not for readers.
You've gone.
I mean, it's very funny. I read it, like I told you the other night, it was 2 a.m. I was like, now what am I going to do? And I got the book down and I read it. I read the whole book. I mean, I've read it before. I just think it was, and I laughed out loud. Because writing with Paul Dinello, who doesn't know anything about crafts, you know what I mean? A lot of the humor comes out of that too. Me trying to take it seriously, him trying to add jokes. So we work well together.
Why don't we talk about him a little bit? Because he's been a long-time collaborator of yours. And I think a lot of people know you worked with like Stephen Colbert on Strangers with Candy, but Dinello was part of that too, but he's been a little bit more in the back a little bit. But he's been obviously a major force in this, including one chapter I'd like to discuss.
Making Laugh.
Yes, that one.
Yes, Paul's more of a director, you know what I mean? And he's been working full-time on the Colbert Report. He works on that show with Steve, and you just can't do a project without him. I mean, you can, I can't.
Well, going back to my original comment about everything that's going on in the book, I mean, there's practical advice. You can learn how to make Jesus slippers out of old carpet.
Sure can. Go on. Jam-packed.
And there is very, it's hilarious. But what amazes me about it really is, you talk like, oh, I decided to do this craft book, so we did it, and no, I'm surprised it's done. But when you look at the photography in it, on two levels there, you have basically, we'll call it the still life photography, that is, again, there's the practical to it. It's usually showing the craft you make, but it's also really quite hilarious, and the amount of styling and work that goes into that is extensive. But then you have the photos that you're in, and there's all that going on, but then there's this level of performance almost to it. So can you talk a little bit about the work that went into creating just the imagery for the book?
Well, I did this Dolly Parton video, and I met this costume maker named Adam Selman, and he made this dress, and we just hit it off immediately. So I knew I wanted to involve costumes. I have costumes throughout the book, because I love costumes. I have tons of costumes. I save everything. So I thought, well, each chapter will have, a major outfit, to do. So, so when we were doing the pictures, it would be like, okay, today's the day I have to dress up like Jesus, or, and the angel, or today we're doing craft mishaps where half my face is going to look blown off. But it was fun to work throughout the whole day with a huge scab on my face. You know what I mean? I kept down all day long, or just to walk around, in jeans with a Jesus beard on. It just was, the book was a lot of fun to work on because of that. Got to be all these different people and make things come alive, which I like. So, the sets were, it's just a lot. When you're working with a camera and you're trying to place things, styling and all that, it takes a lot of patience, you know what I mean? But, so usually I would, be prepared and I would know what's going to go in each picture, and then we'd set it up and, you know, work with the camera with that. And then when it came to picture time with me, you know, then it was just a lot more fun than anything else we did for the book. I mean, it was just fun. It's fun dressing up and